Hi, I'm Bill Miller, and today we're with Thomas Houseman, Anne Amie Vineyards, and I guess we should start off by just talking about yourself for a little bit, and then we'll dive into some wines. We're all pour at the same time to talk.
Well,
just get into the whole juice thing.
Well, I think I'm one of the few winemakers that started out as a modern dancer.
Okay.
There aren't a whole lot of those. So that's kind of the weird thing. There's no real thread other than I think beer is the common denominator.
Or elegance and Pinot Noir.
You could make that. You know, I do talk about elegance and balance and all that stuff, but really it's about beer. I was a home brewer when I lived in New York City when I was dancing, and I knew that I liked fermenting, and I also knew that I didn't like New York, and I wanted to be outside where I saw the sunrise and seasons and be in touch with the land rather than constantly in a subway or studio, hotel, whatever. So I decided that I would go to school and become a winemaker and use Mueller Turgau wines. So these are some of the oldest wines on the property, and they're some of the oldest Mueller Turgau wines you're going to find in the
If you're going to differentiate this from Sauv Blanc and this, I don't get that grassiness. It's not
green, it's not herbaceous,
but
it has the acidity, it has the brightness of fruit. Yeah. I love Mueller Turgau. This to me, this kind of wine is, it's lower in alcohol, it's bright in acidity, it's, slightly off dry. It's got a little bit of crispness, and
it's got a lot of crispness.
Yeah, it's good food wine.
It is. It's actually a palate cleanser too. So I like it quite a bit. You guys can get some. You want to get some more glasses? These guys can try some.
Michelle's having a hard time talking about Mueller Turgau and not drinking it.
You want to drink it?
Oh, I'm good
You can
right
pass
now.
this around. Okay.
What's the parakeet's name on?
Yeah, I have a parakeet named Mueller and another one Turgau.
So now I'm starting to think
No, I thought I was when it was in 2000. Was it 2007? Was it my first year?
I believe so.
So I was out in the vineyard, and it was 2007 was a very rainy year, and so I was out in the vineyard, and we picked one part of the vineyard, and like 100 yards down, we hadn't picked a month later. We were just waiting for these patches of ripening, and all of a sudden I saw this bird fly across the vineyard, and it was bright yellow, and I thought it was a goldfinch, and I saw the way it was flying. It was and it came across. It was freezing cold. It was like November, and it was a parakeet. Well, yeah, it took me like 45 minutes to get close enough to it. I caught it, and it was the winery, its name is Mueller.
That's funny. I think you're one of those people that got whispered talking about Mueller.
Oh, yeah.
When you go back. Okay, this is the Pinot Gris.
Pinot Gris, Oregon's white grape. And this is also 2010, which was an amazing year.
I thought 2008 was an amazing
2008 is the one that got all the
protection.
the press.
I honestly didn't.
Well, 2008 are really tight, and they're going to take.
Yeah.
It's the kind of vintage. It's like this,
Right.
and it just needs to unwind.
True.
2010 is this elegant, beautiful version of 2008 that is plush and open right away. And I think probably the best. This is probably the best Pinot Gris I've ever made.
Really?
In all the years I've made Pinot Gris. I mean, the whites were exceptional, and the reds, they aren't really available yet, but when they are, they're stunning.
I'm not do a girl booth here, and only because 80% of women buy wine, believe it or not, because of the wines.
Right.
Cool.
It actually,
Was that here before you, or-
I'm going to not make up another story. This is actually an honest to goodness story. Does the label remind you of anything?
You know, if you didn't just actually arrive here from a plane,
Yeah.
get in here, 5 minutes, we're up here talking, you'd think we worked this out or something.
Well, not, yeah.
Go ahead, though.
No, okay, so I'm going to
sorry.
ask you, I'm interviewing you again. This is fun. What does the label remind you of? Anything at all? Like off the top of your head?
Well, I like this thing because it's this whole Christmas time, so that throws that in there. It's great for baskets and stuff like that, and it's great juice inside. So that's what I like it for. But it goes towards that era. Okay. So the French. Go ahead.
I was at Dr. Pamplin, our owner, has a huge art collection. He's from the South. He's from Virginia. and one of his passions is...
I'm in South Carolina.
Yes, Southwest, exactly. The Virginia part of France.
That's right.
One of his passions is art collecting, and he collects a lot of Civil War paraphernalia. So he had all these etchings and lithographs and paintings and all this stuff, and he brought it into this artist in San Francisco and said, you know, I want to start a winery, I want a label, it's going to be named after my 2 daughters. So essentially, she took all this art, and he said, you know, here's how I like it, and created the label. It's supposed to be one is Anne and one is Amie. I don't know who it is. I often say that it's Jason, the vineyard manager, and myself in drag, but that actually would be a lie.
I'm not so sure, but
yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah. I do like umbrellas and parasols.
So, but now you turn to yoga.
Anyway, I'm going to tell you the story of the artist. The artist did all this, it's pen and ink, and she did the portrait of the Queen of Sweden on the corner. So she designs money. And when I look at that, I often think it looks like money. You see all the the watercolor and the pen and ink.
Yeah.
So yeah,
is there a watermark on it?
Yeah. Pinot Gris.
Not a lot going on the nose though.
Put it in the mouth. I think it's a little cold.
It is a lot cold. Yeah.
So I mean, put it in the mouth. I mean, I think you get it retronasally. Is that a word? Retronasally. So then it opens up.
Just a nice, relaxing. So, I've obviously tasted your ones before.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I carry them. That's why I like them. The thing that I like about them is they've got that clean, crisp taste to them without that tartness that kind of makes sure I throw back. And it has a great mouthfeel. I mean, so we'll tie the finish in there too. It's just a wonderful finish. So you don't have to sit there and down this wine and drink it all up. Because you can sit there and sip it, and it's with you for a while.
Well, I think I have a very, very good team in the winery. There are 3 of us that work in the winery together. That we all have really, really very honed palates. And in 2010, we actually wrote down how many blends we mainly have. I forget, 7 different wines we made. And we did almost 900 blends to get those 7 wines. I mean, we sit down and when we start out with, we have the vineyards, the different vineyards and the different ways we ferment. Some of it's in barrel, some of it's in tank. Some of it gets in context, some doesn't. And then, you start putting that together for percentages, and then you start, looking at the balance and tweaking it, and pretty soon, you've made hundreds of blends for one wine.
Right. Did you get that crazy on the Pinot Noir?
We do.
Okay.
I mean,
you know, I get a little nutty on the...
Yeah, if you look at all the vineyards that are in there, I mean, you try to figure out whether the first thing we do with the Pinot Noir is we just break it apart based on, is it red fruit, black fruit, and the black fruit goes into the Willamette Valley, and the red fruit goes into the Cuvée, and that's the first rough blend. And then from there, if you have 70 different blocks, you have thousands
that's
of
the
options.
fun part about it. Is the blending part for me.
Blending's great.
We'll see in order though.
Oh no, it's fine.
I just get off track.
I need to. I mean, it's this time of year, the first thing you do, you walk into the winery at 8 o'clock in the morning, have a cup of coffee or tea, depending on what type of person you are, and then you get to it.